Hey friends, it's Bridget Danner. I wanted to come on and show you a little bit about a product that we've got coming out, and I wanted to show you it in the place it was invented, which is my kitchen table. So, just to talk a little bit more about the process of this, this is a binder product called My Toxin Binder, and a binder is something that physically or chemically binds lots of things, but especially we're focused on toxins in the intestines. So there are some different binder products out in the market. They're good products. I had not seen one really catered to mold and a mold client. So as I developed like my line of mold supplements, I wanted a binder that worked just for this type of client. So first step was really doing research on PubMed, looking at different studies about which agents bind different mycotoxins. So, mycotoxins are one of the most toxic elements of toxic mold. And luckily, there's been a lot of research about mycotoxins and binders, mainly from the animal husbandry, animal like livestock field, because cattle eat grain and is often moldy. So it's been an ongoing problem. So there has been study on what agents bind up mycotoxins. While there are thousands of mycotoxins, there are only like a handful of categories. So we just made sure that we had a binding agent for every category of mycotoxin. That was sort of item number one to cover, and I'll show some of those in a minute. And then we wanted to prevent constipation because binders can be constipating. So we wanted to keep the bowels moving with the formula. And then we wanted it to be good for overall gut health and friendly to your gut. And then we wanted to make sure it both moved your bile and sequestered your bile. Sequestering is like taking it away, basically, like sequestering the jury, right? So why mycotoxins can recycle, why don't you just, get rid of them as soon as you're exposed, is they recycle back in with your bile because the body tries to recycle bile like for efficiency or whatever. So we want to make sure bile that is contaminated with mycotoxins is or any other toxins is leaving the body. And then anything else we had in there? I would say those are the main highlights, but then some extra kind of bonuses that came up as we were developing all this is an anti-inflammatory effect, an antioxidant effect, and a mitochondrial boosting effect. So really all great for the scenario of the mold client. So starting probably last summer, we did the research, then I started ordering ingredients to test. And I would package them up in capsules by myself with a little scoop and try them on myself. And I would make notes about this is kind of embarrassing how messy this is, but I make notes about different, things I tried and what they taste like. It's in a capsule, but you can dump it out too. How much I used, how I felt after I used that round. And I think I did 13 rounds before I was happy with the formula. So some ingredients that made the cut, so to speak, were fulvic and humic acid, which is a binder and also a nice like mineralizing agent. Aloe vera powder, which is soothing for the gut and good for bowel movements. We have some citrus pectin in there. And then a late coming like star of the formula is this Chinese rhubarb powder because I just wasn't feeling like it was moving the bowels as much as I wanted it to. I actually want it to be like almost like having an action of detoxifying you by increasing bowel movement. So it's really encouraged that you be having more than one bowel movement a day while you're detoxing because you want to just get it out, get it out, get it out. So even if you have a bowel movement every day, can we push it a little harder and get more bowel movements happening? So that really wasn't happening enough to my liking until I added the Chinese rhubarb. A couple other things I really like in the formula are artichoke, which is a bile mover. And then, what's I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk a little bit about charcoal because originally I didn't want to have charcoal in the formula because it can bind like vitamins and it's a very strong binder and it can be constipating. But I honestly just wasn't happy with the formula until I added the charcoal, and then things were like clicking on a certain level. So there is charcoal in there. I do just think it's like a good binder. It just feels good. So not only is it good for mold detox, it's good for like food poisoning. You know, you ate a bunch of dairy and sugar last night and you're not feeling good. Like, yeah, stomach flu type of thing. Maybe you've been re-exposed to mold or chemicals and you just want to like kind of get that out of you. So I'm super proud of the formula. I don't have the bottle here yet because it hasn't been delivered yet. But I'd love for you to try it. We'd love to hear your feedback. As always, you want to start with like the lowest dose. And if you're super sensitive, that may even just be a half a capsule. But you can do more as tolerated. Binders are always to be taken on an empty stomach and away from supplements and medications, especially. But that being said, um, well, you should avoid that. They don't bind everything completely, and I've experienced that from using them myself over the years. So, for instance, I would sometimes go to bed, take a binder, and then maybe I couldn't sleep. So half an hour later, I'd take a sleep aid, like a herbal sleep aid. It would still work. So um, I don't want you to be too scared off that it's going to suck up all your nutrients, but it's not really an agent meant to be used for long-term use. It's meant to be used while you're actively detoxing, whether that's a few months of a mold protocol or a week that you really focus on a detox week, or after a weekend where you played too hard. So that's a little introduction of my toxin binder, and it will be for sale May 15th, along with a special webinar we're doing and a special ebook about binders and how to get the most out of them. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.